Hey everyone, this is Señor Stationery, and today's review is on the Staedtler Liquid Ball Rollerball pen. Thank you, Mr. Legoman. So let's take a look. This is a odd, long discontinued rollerball I found at a vintage art and drafting products stationery. It's very kind of hard to find Staedtler items, and actually Staedtler is not that much of a common brand, as Staedtler was always been a fairly expensive brand. Um, I remember growing up during the 90's as an elementary school student. I started seeing more Japanese items, but oddly, Staedtler being available in general in the country wasn't that popular or was more limited scene. So it's interesting to find what was Staedtler's offerings during the time when Uniball started making very popular the rollerballs as well as Pilot and Pentel. And I actually remember also seeing a few of Papermates. Um, but I feel like the US brands started more fading out in popularity, as well as German brands like Staedtler, and Japanese brands started gaining more market share and popularity considering their technology and cheaper price. So and then that doesn't mean that this is not a bad pen. It's just that I'm just want to kind of explain the context, at least what I remember or fairly noticed when the big brands were fighting for the market. So if we take a look at this pen, we clearly see a notoriously 90s vibe to it. If we put it sideways, you'll see the interesting style. The clip folds kind of brings to mind the design from the refillable Lamy black pen from 1984. But considering this pen, this is more probably late 80s, if not fully 90s pen. I like the blue shade of the cap. This is obviously a fully blue ink pen. It was the only one I was able to find. It has the classic Staedtler logo, the older one. And again, this is steel, fairly sturdy, works pretty good. Not that easily to be folded unless you really pull it out. It says Staedtler with the vintage font, liquid ball. On the bottom has a plastic cap and end tip, which has Germany engraved. Probably can notice there, Germany. And also here in the back has printed 413 and Germany. The 413, I think it's the code of item probably. So let's take a look. Oh, and as you can notice, has a lot of ridges. Print on the barrel, the plastic design. This is a disposable pen, so you cannot expect to fill it up. And this is a pen that must be used, because if the ink stales or evaporates, well, pretty much is done forever. And considering this rarity, I think this pen does deserve a good spin for writing. So let's take a look. If we pull it out, it has a blue feather, kind of reminds of a fountain pen. Has a plastic semi-translucent grip, but over here on the rest of the part, you can notice more darker. If you put it against the light, if you put this part of the barrel against the light, you can notice the ink level, and this pen is pretty much new. And I guess it's a pretty good thick plastic, because it does have pretty good ink. So this is pretty much new, just as when it was introduced. This part, this lower part, on the tip, reminds me of a model from a Faber-Castell rollerball. So I'm not sure if who's making whose pens, if it's maybe probably Faber made for Staedtler or Staedtler made for Faber, but brings a lot of questions. I'm very observant of these kind of details, because sometimes you can notice that some brands collaborate with others, or others provide for others some items. So this pen, I'm not quite sure if it was fully Staedtler, or probably Faber-Castell helped in some part, or both were actually maybe made for a third party, a third German party, as you can see. So let's take a look. Let's take a quick writing. So this is a probably 1990's Staedtler Liquid Liquid what? Sorry. Liquid Ball. Sorry, forgot the name. Liquid Ball. This seems to be a fine point. It doesn't specify on the pen, but well, you pretty much use rollerballs because they're more finer. It's pretty thick ink, same as a Uniball Micro or the Deluxe rollerballs. So yes, this looks like this pen was pretty much a contender with Uniball. Any other probable German ones will be rivals, probably offerings from Faber-Castell, Stabilo, and also more likely Schneider, who also makes a lot of disposable rollerballs. So that was pretty much the tough competition that Staedtler faced back in the 90's. This pen is made in Germany. Made in Germany. Writes pretty smooth, quick, easy to doodle and write. But again, this being a rollerball from the 90's, this has more thicker ink. And considering that nowadays rollerballs with gel inks are more popular, this is more or less likely to be used or more just on an office or to writing or signing a document. Not that much to journaling or jotting down school notes, considering that all this being a regular photocopy paper, it, as you can see, ink is way too thick that it notices on the back. But nonetheless, it's still a very soft and comfortable rollerball to write with. Very smooth, and being this a 90's pen, well, this was a pretty well made and good quality pen. It's a shame that it has now been discontinued, but luckily I was able to find it on a store, and now being able to show it to you for your appreciation for the style and quality of Staedtler. I hope you like this review. Oh, by the way, yes, you can also post the cap here on the back snugly, or put it back on. We want to keep this pen well closed and makes a slight click while we post back on. I hope you liked this review. Stay tuned for more stationery review and rare stationery items. And thanks again for watching. Bye bye.